The first time Bella Marino saw the old woman, she was standing in the rain with two grocery bags split open at her feet, oranges rolling across the sidewalk like tiny bright warnings. People walked around her, some stepped over the fruit, one man even kicked an orange into the gutter and kept walking as if the woman was part of the weather. Bella watched from inside the cafe window, holding a tray of dirty cups, and felt something twist inside her chest. The old woman was dressed too nicely to be ignored. Black wool coat, pearl earrings, leather gloves, hair pinned in a neat silver bun. But she was small, trembling, and clearly trying not to cry. Bella didn't think. She dropped the tray onto the counter, ignored her manager yelling her name, and ran outside into the cold rain. "Ma'am, wait, let me help you," Bella called, already kneeling to gather the oranges. The old woman looked down at her, surprised. "Oh dear, you'll ruin your uniform." Bella laughed softly. "This uniform has survived spilled espresso, soup, and one angry toddler with chocolate milk. Rain won't kill it." The old woman's lips trembled into a smile. Bella picked up the groceries, saved what she could, and helped carry the bags beneath the cafe awning. Her brown hair was soaked, curls sticking to her cheeks. Her apron was stained with coffee and flour. She was 23, tired, soft-spoken, and invisible to most people who entered Bolero Café. She worked the early shift, the lunch rush, and sometimes stayed late to clean because she needed every dollar. Her mother's medication wasn't cheap, rent wasn't cheap. Being poor, Bella had learned, was somehow always expensive. The old woman tried to lift one bag again, but her hand shook. "No," Bella said gently. "Where are you going?" "Just across the street, the black car." Bella looked and saw a long black luxury sedan parked near the curb. Two men in dark suits stood beside it, scanning the street like wolves pretending to be statues. Bella hesitated for half a second. Rich people with men like that did not belong to ordinary worlds, but the old woman was struggling, and that was all Bella allowed herself to care about. "I'll carry them," she said. The old woman studied her face. "You don't even know me." Bella shrugged. "You needed help." That answer seemed to hit the old woman harder than Bella expected. Together they crossed the wet sidewalk. One of the suited men stepped forward immediately, alarm flashing in his eyes. "Signora, I'm fine, Matteo," the old woman said. "This young lady helped me." Matteo looked at Bella like she might be hiding a knife under her apron. Bella lifted the grocery bags slightly. "Just oranges, I promise." The old woman laughed. Bella placed the bags inside the car. The old woman reached for her purse. "No, please," Bella said quickly. "I didn't do it for money." The old woman paused. Bella regretted how sharp she sounded and softened her voice. "I mean, it's okay, really." The old woman took Bella's cold hand between both of hers. "What is your name?" "Bella." "Bella," the woman repeated as if testing the name. "Beautiful name." Bella smiled awkwardly. "My mother was optimistic." The old woman laughed again, warmer this time. Then she looked at the cafe sign. "You work there?" "Yes. Do they treat you well?" Bella glanced back through the window. Her manager was standing near the counter, arms crossed, furious. "Well enough." The old woman's eyes sharpened. "That means no." Bella looked away. "It means I need the job." The woman squeezed her hand. "Thank you, Bella." "It was nothing." "No," the old woman said quietly. "Kindness is never nothing." Bella returned to the cafe soaked and shivering. Her manager, Calvin, was waiting by the espresso machine with a face like spoiled milk. "You think this is charity hour?" he snapped. "Customers are waiting." Bella tied her wet apron tighter. "An old woman dropped her groceries, and you abandoned the counter." "She needed help." Calvin leaned close. "You need this job. Remember that before you start playing saint." Bella swallowed the humiliation. She had become very good at swallowing things. Anger, hunger, exhaustion, words that bruised without leaving marks. The rest of the day passed in a blur of orders: cappuccino, turkey sandwich, 2 black coffees, almond croissant, smile, apologize, smile again. By closing, Bella's feet throbbed, her back ached, and Calvin still docked her 15 minutes of pay for leaving the floor. That night, she walked home under broken streetlights, carrying a paper bag of unsold bread the baker had secretly given her. Her apartment was small and cold, above a laundromat that shook the walls every time someone ran the dryers. Her mother, Rosa, slept on the sofa, oxygen machine humming softly beside her. Bella placed the bread on the counter and kissed her mother's forehead. Long day, Rosa murmured. Normal day. Normal means bad when you say it like that. Bella smiled tiredly. I helped an old woman with groceries. Rosa opened one eye. Good. Your father always said kindness returns wearing different shoes. Bella laughed. Then I hope kindness wears rent money. She had no idea that by morning kindness would arrive wearing black suits. At 8:03 the next morning, Bellaro Café was packed. Rain had stopped, leaving the streets shining under pale sunlight. Bella was behind the counter, steaming milk, when the door opened and 4 men walked in. The entire cafe went quiet. They were not ordinary customers. Each wore a black suit, black coat, polished shoes, and the expression of men who did not wait in lines. The largest one stood near the door, another moved toward the window, a third watched the kitchen, the fourth approached the counter. Calvin appeared instantly, suddenly polite. Gentlemen, welcome. What can I get? We are here for Bella Marino, the man said. The milk pitcher slipped in Bella's hand. Calvin turned slowly. Bella, every customer looked at her. Bella's heart began pounding. She wiped her hands on her apron. That's me. The man's eyes moved over her face, not rudely but carefully, like he had been told exactly who to find. Please come with us. Bella stepped back. No. Calvin hissed. Bella, don't be stupid. She ignored him. Who are you? The man reached inside his coat. Bella flinched. He pulled out a cream envelope. For you. Bella stared at it. Her name was written on the front in elegant handwriting. Inside was a short note. My dear Bella, yesterday you helped me when everyone else looked away. Today my son wishes to thank you properly. Please do not be afraid of the men. They look worse than they are. Isabella Romano. Bella read it twice, then looked at the men. Your son sends bodyguards to invite people for thank you coffee. The man's mouth twitched. Mr. Romano does most things with security, the cafe whispered. Calvin's face had gone pale. Romano, someone near the window muttered, as in Dante Romano. Bella knew that name. Everyone in Chicago knew that name. Dante Romano owned half the restaurants in the city, several luxury hotels, and enough construction companies that politicians smiled too hard when his name came up. He was also rumored to be the head of the Romano family, which nobody said too loudly unless they wanted trouble. Bella looked down at her stained apron. I can't leave. I'm working. Calvin suddenly grabbed her elbow and whispered, Go. She stared at him. Yesterday you docked my pay for helping her. Bella, he said through his teeth, terrified. Go. The bodyguard looked at Calvin's hand on Bella's arm. Remove your hand, he said. Calvin obeyed instantly. Bella slowly took off her apron. Her hands were shaking, but her voice stayed steady. I'm only going because the old woman asked nicely. The bodyguard nodded. That is what she said you would say. Outside, a black SUV waited at the curb. Bella's stomach twisted. For a second she almost ran. But then she saw the old woman from yesterday sitting inside, smiling through the window. Bella exhaled. Hello, dear, Isabella Romano said as the door opened. I told them not to frighten you. They are terrible at subtlety. Bella climbed in carefully. That was them trying not to. Isabella laughed. You see, I like you already. The SUV pulled away from the cafe. Bella watched Calvin shrinking in the window, looking as if he had just discovered his underpaid barista might be important. They drove to a mansion near the lake, hidden behind iron gates and manicured gardens. Bella tried not to stare but failed. Marble fountain, white stone walls, black cars, men with earpieces. Everything looked like money had learned to threaten people. Inside, the mansion was warm and golden, full of chandeliers and polished floors. Isabella walked slowly, one hand on Bella's arm, as if Bella were the one helping her and not the other way around. My son is in his office, Isabella said. He wanted to meet the girl who refused payment. I didn't refuse to be dramatic. No, you refused because you have pride. Bella gave a small smile. Pride is free. I can afford it. Isabella laughed so loudly a maid glanced over in surprise. Then the office doors opened. Dante Romano stood inside. Bella forgot how to breathe. He was younger than she expected, maybe 38, tall and broad, wearing a black shirt open at the collar beneath a dark tailored suit. Tattoos climbed the side of his neck and disappeared beneath the fabric. His hands were inked, marked with rings, one gold watch resting at his wrist. His face was handsome in the way storms are beautiful from far away. Dangerous, controlled, impossible to ignore. His eyes moved from his mother's hand on Bella's arm to Bella's face. For a moment he said nothing. Then he looked at Isabella. "You should have called me yesterday. I dropped oranges, Dante. I did not declare war. You were outside without Matteo close enough. I crossed a sidewalk, not enemy territory." Bella pressed her lips together to keep from smiling. Dante noticed. His eyes returned to her. "You find this funny?" "A little." Isabella smiled with delight. Dante did not. Or maybe he almost did and stopped himself. "You helped my mother," he said. "She dropped groceries. Most people kept walking. They were rude." "Yes," Dante said, "they were." He stepped behind his desk and picked up a small velvet box. Bella immediately raised her hands. "No." Dante paused. "You haven't seen what it is. If it's expensive, no." His eyebrow lifted. "You refuse gifts often." "Only from Mafia bosses." The room went silent. Isabella covered her mouth, clearly trying not to laugh. Dante stared at Bella for 3 long seconds. Then he laughed once, low and surprised. Bella's cheeks warmed. "Sorry, no," he said. "You're not." "No, I'm not." If you're enjoying this story, subscribe to the channel and comment your name and city below. Because Bella thought she was only returning kindness to an old woman, but she had just walked into the home of a man who never forgot a debt. Dante opened the box anyway. Inside was a delicate gold bracelet with a tiny orange charm. Bella softened despite herself. "It's not payment," Isabella said gently. "It's memory." Bella looked at the old woman's hopeful face and felt her defenses weaken. "It's beautiful." Dante stepped closer and placed the box on the desk between them. "Take it." Bella looked at him. "Do you always order people when you're trying to be nice?" "I'm not often trying to be nice." "Clearly." Isabella laughed again. "Dante, she is good for you." Dante's expression hardened slightly. "Mother." Bella sensed the change. There was tension between them. Love, yes, but also fear. Control. A son who had turned protection into a prison because the world had once hurt them. Isabella touched Bella's arm. "Stay for tea." Bella looked at the clock on the wall. "I have to get back to work." Dante's face turned colder. "Your manager will survive." "I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about rent." The honesty slipped out before Bella could stop it. Dante's eyes sharpened. She hated that. Hated the way rich people noticed poverty like a stain. "I mean, I need my hours," she said quickly. Dante picked up his phone. "You have the day off." "No, I don't." He looked up. "You do now." "Did you just call my boss?" "Yes." Bella stared. "You can't just rearrange my life because your mother likes me." "I can." Wrong answer. Isabella watched them like a woman enjoying a play. Bella stepped closer to Dante's desk. "Listen, Mr. Romano. Yesterday I helped your mother because she needed help. I didn't do it to get dragged out of my job, given jewelry, and ordered around by a man with bodyguards." Dante's gaze darkened, but not with anger. Interest. "Most people don't speak to me that way. Maybe most people are trying to stay alive. And you?" "I'm trying to pay rent." That made him quiet. Isabella's smile faded. "Bella dear." Bella immediately regretted the sharpness. "I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I can't afford surprises." Dante studied her for a long moment. "Then no surprises." He placed the bracelet box in her hand. "No strings, no debt, no demand. You may return to work after tea." Bella looked down at the box. "One tea," Isabella beamed. "Perfect." Tea became lunch. Lunch became a tour of the garden because Isabella insisted the roses were criminally ignored by men with guns. Bella found herself laughing more than she had in months. Isabella asked about her mother, her job, her dreams. Bella tried to answer lightly, but Isabella heard what was hidden underneath. "You take care of everyone," the old woman said. Bella looked at her hands. "Someone has to." "And who takes care of you?" Bella smiled, but it hurt. "Coffee." From the terrace, Dante watched them. His right-hand man, Marco, stood beside him. "She's ordinary." Dante's eyes stayed on Bella. "No." Marco frowned. "Boss, ordinary people don't refuse money when they need it." Marco glanced at him. "That makes her dangerous." Dante's voice was quiet. "That makes her rare." By the time Bella returned to the cafe, everything had changed. Calvin was too polite. Customers whispered. A co-worker named Jenna grabbed her arm near the pantry. "Are you insane? 4 Romano men came for you." "They came for his mother." "No, Bella. Men like that don't send bodyguards for nothing. Bella touched the bracelet hidden in her pocket. It was just tea. Jenna stared. With the Romanos, nothing is just tea. That night, after closing, Bella found Calvin in the office counting cash. "You docked my pay yesterday," she said. He looked up nervously. "We can adjust that." "You will adjust it," he blinked, "and you'll pay Jenna for the extra hours you keep pretending are training." His face tightened. "Bella, don't push your luck." For the first time, Bella didn't shrink. "Luck walked into the cafe wearing 4 black suits this morning," she said. "I'm pushing back pay." Calvin stared at her, pale and furious. The next day, the cafe got inspected, not by City Health, by Dante Romano. He walked in at 10 a.m., with 2 men behind him, wearing a dark suit and the expression of someone evaluating a crime scene. Bella nearly dropped a cappuccino. "What are you doing here?" "Buying coffee. You don't look like you drink cafe coffee." "I'm adaptable." Calvin rushed over. "Mr. Romano, welcome sir, please, anything you like." Dante ignored him and looked at Bella. "What do you recommend?" She narrowed her eyes. "For you, black coffee, no sugar, very bitter." Marco coughed behind him. Dante's mouth twitched. "Perfect." He sat at a corner table. For the next hour, business doubled because everyone wanted to see why Dante Romano was sitting in a small cafe drinking bitter coffee while watching a barista like she was the only person in the room. Bella hated how aware she was of him, hated the way his eyes followed the movement of her hands, hated that he noticed when she winced lifting a crate of milk. After the rush, Dante stood and walked behind the counter. "You can't come back here," she said. "I own the building now." Bella froze. "What?" Calvin made a strangled sound from the office. Dante looked at her calmly. "The landlord was eager to sell. You bought the building." "Yes, because of coffee. Because your manager is stealing wages, underpaying staff, and storing expired ingredients near the back sink." Calvin appeared in the doorway, sweating. "That's not." Dante looked at him. Calvin stopped talking. Bella's head spun. "You can't just do that." "I already did." "Why?" Dante looked at her carefully. "Because you asked him to pay people fairly, and he threatened you after I left." Bella's blood went cold. "How do you know that?" His silence answered. She stepped closer, furious. "You had me watched. To keep you safe. I didn't ask you to keep me safe." "No, but someone followed you home last night." Bella stopped. Dante's tone remained calm, but his eyes did not. "Not my men. Someone else." "Who?" "That is what I intend to find out." The world tilted. The danger Bella thought belonged only to him had somehow reached her. Dante lowered his voice. "My mother spoke too freely yesterday. People know she favors you. In my world, that makes you useful to my enemies." Bella laughed shakily. "So helping with oranges got me a stalker?" "Yes, that is the worst thank you gift I've ever received." Dante looked almost sorry. "I know." That evening, he drove her home himself. Bella argued for 10 minutes. He ignored 9 and answered 1. "You don't get to order me around," she said. "I'm not ordering, I'm driving." That's not different enough. But when they reached her building, Bella saw a man across the street turn away too quickly. Dante saw him too. In seconds, Marco had the man against a wall. Bella stood frozen on the sidewalk. Dante opened the car door. "Stay inside." She didn't. Of course she didn't. The man was searched. In his pocket was a photo of Bella leaving the Romano mansion. On the back was written, "The mother's new pet." Bella felt sick. Dante's face became terrifyingly still. "Who sent you?" he asked. The man said nothing. Dante smiled. Bella quickly stepped forward. "Don't." He looked at her. "Not here," she whispered. "Not in front of my building. My mother is upstairs." The word mother changed his expression. He turned to Marco. "Take him away." Bella's legs shook. Dante noticed and gently touched her elbow. "Barely there." "Come," he said. "I need to check your apartment. My mother will panic. Then I will be polite." Despite everything, Bella almost laughed. "Can you?" "I can try." Rosa Marino was not impressed by Mafia money. She sat on the sofa with a blanket over her knees, oxygen tube under her nose, and looked Dante up and down. "You're the reason my daughter came home in a black car?" Dante stood respectfully near the door. "Yes, ma'am." "You trouble." "Yes, ma'am," Bella groaned. "Dante." Rosa's eyes narrowed. At least he's honest. Dante inspected the apartment quietly. Broken window latch, weak door lock, fire escape accessible from the alley. Every flaw made his jaw tighten. Rosa watched him. You care about her. Bella froze. Dante looked at Bella first, then Rosa. I am beginning to. The room went silent. Bella's heart tripped. Rosa nodded slowly. Then don't make her pay for your world. Dante's voice softened. I'm trying not to. Rosa held his gaze. Try harder. That night, Bella couldn't sleep. Her mother slept peacefully. Two plainclothes guards stood outside. The bracelet with the little orange charm lay on Bella's nightstand, catching the streetlight. Her phone buzzed. Dante, door locked? Bella stared at the message, then typed back. Two guards outside. You tell me. A moment later. They are for the stairwell. The door still matters. She smiled despite herself. Yes, door locked. Good. The next days became strange. Dante bought the cafe building but did not fire everyone. Instead, he replaced Calvin with Jenna, paid back wages, renovated the kitchen, and installed proper locks. Bella tried to stay angry, but it was difficult to be furious while her co-workers cried from relief. Isabella visited daily. She sat near the window with tea, watching Bella work. You love this place, Isabella said one afternoon. I love what it could be. Then make it yours. Bella laughed. With what money? Isabella only smiled. Bella turned suspicious. Don't. I said nothing. You have the face of a woman about to interfere. My dear, I am Italian. Interference is love with better shoes. But enemies moved faster than dreams. One evening, Isabella collapsed outside the cafe. Bella caught her before she hit the ground. Call an ambulance, Bella shouted. Dante arrived in 7 minutes, faster than any ambulance. His face when he saw his mother pale and unconscious in Bella's arms was something Bella would never forget. Pure fear. The kind even powerful men cannot hide. At the hospital, doctors said Isabella had skipped medication, ignored weakness, and pushed herself too hard. Dante stood outside her room, furious and helpless. Bella sat beside him. She didn't want to worry you. That is not her choice. Bella looked at him. You can't control people into staying alive. His eyes flashed. Watch me. No. Bella's voice softened. You can love them, you can help them, but you can't turn love into a prison. Dante looked through the glass at his mother. I already lost too much. I know. He turned to her. You don't. Bella's voice became quiet. My father left when I was 8. My mother got sick when I was 19. I lost college, savings, friends, sleep, and most of myself trying to keep her breathing. Don't tell me I don't understand fear. Dante looked ashamed. I'm sorry, he said. Bella nodded. He reached for her hand slowly. This time, she let him hold it. The man who had followed Bella turned out to work for the Vital family. Rivals who believed Isabella had passed something important to Bella. They thought the bracelet contained a key, code, or message. It didn't. It was just a bracelet. But criminals often create meaning where kindness is too simple to understand. Vital demanded a meeting. Dante planned to go alone. Bella found out and blocked his office door. No, his eyebrow lifted. No, you heard me. This is not your business. They followed me. They scared my mother. They nearly killed yours by stressing her. It became my business. Dante stared. You are a cafe girl. Bella stepped closer. And you are a mafia boss who needed a cafe girl to remind you your mother is not made of stone. For a moment he looked at her like she had slapped him. Then he said, you stay in the car. Fine, you do not get out. Fine, you do not argue. Now you're dreaming. The meeting took place in a luxury restaurant closed for the night. Bella waited in the car with Marco, watching rain slide down the windshield. Through the glass doors, she saw Dante facing 3 men in suits. Calm, deadly, alone in the center of power. Then she saw the waiter. His hand shook as he approached Dante's table. Not nervous shook, wrong shook. Bella had worked in cafes long enough to know when someone carried a tray naturally and when someone was pretending. Marco, she said. That waiter. Marco looked. His posture changed instantly. Stay here. But Bella was already opening the door. Inside, the waiter lifted the silver coffee pot. Bella shouted, Dante. Dante turned as the waiter pulled a gun from beneath the tray. Bella threw the nearest chair into his path. The shot went wide, shattering a mirror. Dante moved like lightning. Marco slammed the waiter into the floor. Vitali's men drew weapons. In 2 seconds, the restaurant became chaos. Dante grabbed Bella and pulled her behind him. "I said stay in the car," he snarled. "You're welcome," she snapped. A second shooter appeared near the kitchen. Bella saw him before anyone else because she knew kitchens, doors, corners, movement. "Left!" Dante fired once. The shooter dropped his weapon and fell. Silence returned in pieces. Dante turned to Bella, breathing hard, fury and fear battling across his face. "You could have died. So could you." His hand cupped her face suddenly, rough and warm. "Do you understand what that would do to me?" Bella stopped breathing. Everyone in the room seemed to disappear. She whispered, "Dante." He pulled his hand back like he had touched fire. The Vital family surrendered before midnight. Not because Dante threatened them, because they saw the look on his face when Bella was almost harmed and understood that some wars were too expensive. Weeks later, Bellaro Café reopened under a new name, Orange and Pearl. Bella owned 40%, Jenna owned 20%, the staff shared 10%. Dante owned nothing because Bella refused until he agreed to only invest as a silent partner with legal paperwork and no surprise control. Isabella declared it annoyingly modern but charming. Opening day was bright and crowded. Fresh pastries lined the glass case. Orange flowers decorated the tables. A small framed photo near the register showed Isabella's spilled oranges from the day everything began, because Bella had insisted that kindness deserved evidence too. Dante arrived after closing in his black suit, tattoos visible, looking completely out of place among pastel walls and cinnamon rolls. Bella handed him bitter coffee. "You still hate sugar. I tolerate yours. That's dangerously close to a compliment. I'll recover." She smiled. Isabella sat near the window, healthier now, wearing the gold bracelets matching orange charm around her neck, because she said Bella had earned the original. Dante looked at his mother laughing with Rosa near the front table, both women plotting something involving cannoli. "You saved her," he said. Bella shook her head. "I carried groceries. You did more than that." She looked at him. "So did you." Dante stepped closer. "Bella," her name in his voice had changed over the weeks. Softer now, less command, more confession. "I am not an easy man. I noticed. I bring danger. I noticed that too. I don't know how to love gently." Bella's heart squeezed. "Then learn." He looked at her for a long moment. Then he reached into his coat and pulled out a small velvet box. Bella immediately pointed at him. "If that is expensive, I'm throwing it at you." He opened it. Inside was not a diamond. It was a tiny silver key. "To the café," he said. "Not a gift, not a debt, a copy. So I have to ask before entering." Bella stared at him. The most dangerous man in Chicago had given her a key that limited him. Not access, permission. Her eyes filled. "That might be the most romantic, controlling thing anyone has ever done. I was aiming for only romantic." "You missed slightly. I'll improve." She laughed through tears. Then she stepped closer and kissed him, not because he was powerful, not because he sent 4 bodyguards, not because he bought buildings or ended threats, but because underneath all that darkness was a man trying, clumsily and fiercely, to become someone worthy of the kindness that had found his mother in the rain. And Bella was no longer just the poor cafe girl who carried bags for an old woman. She was the woman who taught a Mafia boss that kindness was not weakness, it was a debt no money could repay. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel for more emotional Mafia romance stories full of danger, loyalty, and powerful twists. Like this video, share it with someone who believes one small act of kindness can change everything, and comment your name and city below. Tell me honestly, if you were Bella, would you trust Dante after all this, or would you keep making him earn your heart one day at a time?